Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial. It's been a while since I've done like an official makeup tutorial on this channel, but I wanted to hop on camera with this palette. This is the mini Norvina Pro Pigment palette volume 3. It's a mouthful, but I wanted to give you my take on a Valentine's Day look using this palette because that's exactly what I thought of when I saw it for the first time. So today I'm going to show you my first look with this little palette, and I'm going to give you my full face of makeup. We are filming this Instagram video style because this is my Instagram filming room. So before I get the comments, I miss your old background, don't worry, this is just an occasional background that I use for tutorials. But I love filming in this little setup and I love this palette. I had a lot of fun with it. So if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look from start to finish, then just keep on watching. Alright, so first let's get started with primer. I don't think I've showed this on my YouTube channel yet, but I've been liking the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. It's the luminous version of their original putty primer. They do have a matte version too, but I prefer to be kind of dewy. So I'm just going to scoop some of this out with the back of my nail. It looks like butter, but I'm just going to apply this before my foundation. My skin does get a little red when I apply primer. Once my primer's on, I'm going to move on to face makeup. I have kind of a concoction, like a little foundation mixture that I've been using lately. So this is my favorite foundation. It's the Urban Decay Stay Naked, but this is a little too dark for me. This one is in the shade 30WY, which is just a little bit too warm. So I'm going to add this to my mixing plate, just like 3 pumps, maybe 3.5. Then I'm going to add some of this LA Girl Pro Pigment. It's a white foundation, and this will bring it to the shade I need it to be, just like 1 pump. Then I like to add a little bit of liquid highlight. This is the Cover FX Enhancer Drops in the shade Moonlight, but I'm just going to add that right to the middle. Now a lot of this goes into my brush, so I can just use my brush to dot it all over my face and then blend it out. Looks like a perfect color match. And this foundation has the perfect coverage for me, but adding the white adds a little bit more. Okay, so since I do concealer and brow carving at the same time, I need to do my brows first. So first I'm going to brush them out with my spoolie and just make sure that I get out any of the product that might be in them. I'm going to brush them upwards and get the hair going in the right direction. Okay, so I have full brows naturally, as you can see. So today I'm just going to enhance my natural brow. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. If I wanted to go for a more dramatic, sharp look, I would go in with Dip Brow, but I just opened a fresh Brow Wiz. There's something so satisfying about a brand new brow pencil. So I do like to open both sides because I go in immediately after penciling with the spoolie. So I'm setting down my standalone brow spoolie. After the hair is up and out of the way, I like to fill in under the brow first. So just lightly feathering the pencil. And I do this to make sure there's a clean line under there and that my brows are both pretty even thickness because they are different by a little bit. And then I will go into the top of the brow and do the same thing, feather in some of this product. Once it's filled, I brush the hairs back into their normal upward state. And there we have it. It's just a naturally enhanced brow. Super simple with the brows, but I really like the Brow Wiz because it's nice and precise. And then I am just going to set my brows. You can set your brows with anything, but I want to test out this new one to me. This is the Milk Makeup Kush Brow Gel. It is the clear one. So I'm just going to run this through my brows and we'll see if it is one of those brow gels that's crusty or if it's nice and comfortable. So I'm just going to pop this gel in, going upward so all the hair stays where it needs to stay. This also helps to brush out any potential foundation that was left behind. And now we can finally conceal. So I'm using the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer today for under my eyes and carving out my brows. My brows kind of don't look like they need it today, but this will add a little bit more definition. All right, so I added a little bit of concealer to this flat brush from Morphe, and this is super simple. I just like to press it underneath my brow. It's gonna cover any rogue hairs that maybe need to be plucked. It's also gonna double as an eye base for my eyeshadow today. Once the concealer is on my lid, I like to put powder on it immediately so that it doesn't crease before we start the eye look, and let it sit for a minute while we do our concealer. So this shade of concealer is Coconut Flakes 10N. It's not very brightening, but it is going to cover up some under eye bags that I have going on. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of this underneath my eye, just a dot under each eye. I like the cooling applicator of this one because I feel like it does reduce some of the under eye bag. And then I'm just gonna buff that out and powder it immediately, just like the concealer under the brow, just so nothing creases too crazy. I kind of forgot how amazing this concealer works for me. I do have wrinkles underneath my eyes, and it's almost like this concealer flattens them down. Okay, so now that my concealer is set just underneath my eyes and on my eyelids, we can move on to eyeshadow. So I have the Anastasia Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette number 3. It's the Cherry palette. I'm sure you guys have already seen this. It is so, so pretty. So I'm going to start with my mini fan brush. I'm going to pick up this duochrome white shade right here. So I want to lay this down first. It's just going to peek underneath this eye look. It's just a shimmering white with like a hint of cherry. Next, I'm going to go in with this pink shade right here. I'm going to use the very tip of my blending brush for this. And I'm going to start working this above my eyelid a little bit into the crease. And this is going to be my transition shade. So I'm building this up because I want it to be nice and pigmented. This is going to be the blown out portion of the look. This is going to peep out underneath the red shade. So next I'm dipping into this red shade with a smaller blending brush. And this is going to go all over the lid and then blend into the pink. I'm going to place it right in the middle. And that is very, very pigmented. Starting by tapping it in. And slowly blending it into the crease color. And I will go back in with that pink and just make sure that everything is blending together seamlessly. Okay, so important step before we move on to the rest of this makeup look, I need lashes and mascara. So fitting the theme, I'm going to use this Valentine's Day themed packaging Lancome mascara. And the lashes I'm going to throw on are Ardell Wispies. So we're going to finish up the eye look and then we can move on to face. So I'm taking a tiny Precision Firm blender from Sigma. I'm going to pick up some more of the pink and I'm going to go underneath my lash line just a little bit with the pink before we put any mascara down there. So now that the pink is on the lower lash line, I can add my mascara down there. I did already powder my concealer, so we're good to go. Okay, so now we can finally finish the face. Okay, so since I only powdered under my eyes, I can still use cream products on my face. So for contour, I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Tantour. Mine is in the shade Light. As you can probably see, mine is well loved, and so is the Tantour brush. I really need to clean this. But I use the small end and I dip into the product and I apply it in little dots. And then I blend out with the big side. It blends out so easily. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I like to take whatever's left and kind of go underneath my chin. For blush, I'm going in with a new favorite. It's the Iconic London Sheer Blush in the shade Fresh Faced. I'm picking up some of this liquid blush with a duo fiber brush from ColourPop, but I'm hitting the apples of my cheeks and this is going to give me a little bit of a glow. When I have a dramatic eye look like this, I try to keep the rest of my face neutral. Now I want to keep my lips neutral too, so I'm going in with MAC's Boldly Bare Lip Pencil, just slightly lining in a feathering motion. Then I'm going to use a lipstick I've been liking from Huda Beauty. It is a Power Bullet lipstick. This is in the shade Anniversary. So I love this nude. So I don't want to go overboard with my highlighter because I like the lit from within kind of look that I have going on, but I will add a little bit. I wanted to reintroduce this to my channel. It was an old favorite highlighter. It is the Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duo. I think these are kind of slept on YouTube. So I'm going to use the darker shade out of this duo just to keep it kind of nice and subtle. So I'm just going to tap this over where that blush kind of gave me a natural hint of glow. Right here. I'm just tapping it on. I'm not putting a ton on this time like I normally do. So hopefully you guys can see it's just enhancing what the blush already did. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. You can kind of see where the light hits my face. I'm not going too high up onto my cheekbone like I normally do. And then I need a setting spray. If you're using a different setting spray on Valentine's Day, you're doing Valentine's Day wrong. So make sure you have Urban Decay All Nighter in your collection. It really is the best setting spray for long lasting. So that is it for my makeup tutorial using the Anastasia Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 3. I think it was fun kind of giving you guys a tutorial Instagram video style. So if you guys like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up for me. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to see my mini tutorials. All of them are obviously like a minute, 2 minutes if it's Instagram TV. But thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new here and join the family. And hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.